you'll be hearing from us.
And if you want to watch the rest of that, you're going to have to tune in during the Super Bowl. It is, in fact, an ad for an ad. Welcome to Digits. I'm Simon Constable. To explain this phenomenon to us, we have Suzanne Vranica of the Media and Marketing Bureau. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is an interesting phenomenon.
Quite an interesting, expensive phenomenon.
So why are they going to these lengths? I mean, an ad is usually for a product. You put it up,
Right.
You pay the money to do it. It stands for itself. This points you towards another ad.
Right. So basically, the Super Bowl has become such a spectacular spectacle around advertising that it's cluttered. It's expensive. So all these marketers that are forking out $4 million, a little bit over $4 million for 30 seconds worth of ad time are under enormous pressure to make sure that their ads get seen. So over the last couple of years, they've been investing in ads to advertise their big ad. So it's teaser ads, but it goes far beyond that. It goes to event marketing. It goes to things like people in street teams getting you excited about what's coming. I mean, Jaguar, for instance, has basically put ads across the F train, a bunch of F trains in New York.
That's just to explain. Yeah, that's one of the subway lines here in New York. It goes to one of the hipper neighborhoods that I don't live in. But
so inside and out, they've wrapped this train with ads that basically says "Tune in Super Bowl Sunday" so you can see our ad.
Wow.
And they're running TV
And that's
ads.
expensive because the New York subway system is extremely busy. A lot of people go on it. You've got to pay a lot of money to get on there.
Right, but that's only one component. They're spending $5 million to advertise its Super Bowl ad, which they spent $8 million to buy the ad time, which they spent another $5 or over $5 to create that specific ad that's going to run on Sunday.
Well, they had a lot of money before they spent that all. So they've also there's also an ad where it's Arnold Schwarzenegger promoting Bud Light.
Right.
He is very much the archetypal man's man. Tell us about that.
Well, they've been running that on television. There's a bunch of different versions of it, and they've been posting it on the web. They've been doing search ads. There's lots of things trying to get people to YouTube. So the whole point of this is they want consumers not only to wait for Super Bowl Sunday, but to go as many times as they can to keep watching this ad, because the old adage in advertising is if you watch it and you spend time with these ads, you're going to remember the company better, or you're going to more likely want to buy their product. Expensive.
Do you think that there'll become like an arms race with this, in that it becomes that it's only companies with enormous war chests that can advertise at the Super Bowl? I mean, I was watching the other day the Jobs movie, and they got an ad even when they were a relatively small startup of getting, they got an ad on the Super Bowl back in 1984. It was shown once. That's a very different world from now. This sounds like it's tens of millions.
It's tens of millions to be sure, but there's always one or two every year that spends at least 50% of their ad budget to get in hopes of surviving. I mean, Monster.com was launched on the Super Bowl. There's lots of those .com companies that, obviously lots of them died and went away during the bust, but some of them survived. And a lot of them survived because they got brand recognition on the Super Bowl. So it's basically the haves and have not. There's always a few that don't really have the money to do it, but they're going to go and they're going to bet big. And then there's the Anheuser-Busch's that basically are spending enormous amounts of money. They're running over 3 minutes.
I don't see them going away, but
they're not.
Yeah.
But I think you get to a point where it becomes too expensive. And even a couple of the car makers I talked to say we're bordering on that line now. Like, when do you get the real return? But you have to realize, look, we're sitting here talking about not even their real ad. We're talking about their teasers. All the newspapers are talking about ads that aren't even going to be on the Super Bowl.
And you're writing about it. And you can read more about it in the paper. There you go. Suzanne Vranica back on Digits. I'm Simon Constable, and that's it.